This is Excalibur Heavy Battlecruiser, also known as Recruit 75, and today we're gonna be doing Strafing Strikes Vortex. Now this build is very much viable with the current versions, but a few versions prior, this build wasn't just viable, it was very powerful. And that was because, back then, Strafing Strikes made charged weapons charge up 200% faster, which is very significant. And it made for colossal vortexes that were a lot of fun to use. Sadly, it got nerfed, and the charge bonus increase is only 100% instead of 200%. And with the new non-linear charge mechanic, it basically means that Strafing Strikes is barely an upgrade over regular charge shot. But I'm not gonna give up just because it got a nerf. There are still ways to make the vortexes a lot bigger, aside from heavy caliber. And that's what we're gonna do with this build. And with this run. Now starting off, we know the basics. We skip the shields because rapid reconstruction. Now we'll go for Ataraxia, and well, I'm not gonna go explosive growth right away. That's risky. All strength, magnitude, propulsive munitions, targeting, they're all mandatory. Also get regen and rapid reconstruction to banish all of the shield mods. Agility, payload, juggernaut, charge shot. Well, we can still take Revelation and Strafe, which will unlock Singular Strike. Well, Payload and Juggernaut will unlock Singular Strike, but we need that. We also need Adaptive Armor. And we're also making another deviation from the other Strafing Strikes Vortex runs. We're gonna go for Homing Strike and Convergence, because Convergence will make my vortexes do a lot more damage. And Homing Strike essentially means that you have mini vortexes that can take down smaller enemies, basically giving you additional crowd control. Let me take Rapid Fire, Convergence, and Adrenal Module, because with this build, you are bound to take more self-damage in the name of hitting onto enemies, which means that this will be handy. We also need Absorption, obviously, Channeling, Core Shielding. And here Absorption's not just for additional defense, but to also get Rancor. Let's also get Warpath, and there we go, Rancor. This thing really helps out with the charge shot situation. Because if you take damage, your projectiles become quite a lot larger. And if you play your cards right, your projectiles can really become massive. Now we'll also take Mastery because it's a general increase in damage. Strafing Strikes obviously, Eye Explosive. Now these mods here I don't really care about, so we can start re-rolling until we run into a good mod. I guess Force Armor is decent because some defense is better than nothing. Candescence is also nice. Purge and Rupture would unlock Deflagration, further adding into the crowd control capabilities of this build. And I guess we could also go for Defiance because stealth damage resistance and plating never really hurt anyone. Now right now, the vortexes here are not too big, they're still sizable, but a few versions prior this was a lot larger. They were truly tremendously large. But with Rancor, we should be capable of bypassing this nerf. And you can look at that. This is now more like the previous versions. But it still begs the question, what would this build look like before the nerf, including Rancor? Because I have a feeling it would be super ridiculous. Now let me get Chaotic Ambition, just to increase my chances of getting Phantom Strike. which really increases the size of the projectile. I didn't really time that right because I really wanted to time Rancor right and take a bit of self-damage, but also make my charge a lot more powerful. Yeah, like that. Now my vortexes are a lot larger. Unfortunately, I am not running into Phantom Strike, which is what I want. I mean, don't get me wrong, this build is doing pretty decently. Oh yeah, let's get Chaotic Ambition again. Look at the sides of these vortexes, man. Yeah, that's what I missed with the new versions. A few versions prior, they were gigantic. Now they're kind of small, like this. And sure, I could have skimped out with Convergence, but Convergence, while it makes your projectile smaller, makes them do more damage with Singular Strike, and actually adds up to extra projectiles if you're not going for charge, not going for Singular Strike. Which is why in general it's a much better much better web of mod than, say, Volley. Let alone Fusillade. Okay, let me get more Chaotic Ambition, because I'm pretty much done with the regular mods. I'd rather go for super mods right now. Those are some glorious vortexes. Just bulldozing through the entire lot of shredder mines. Never really gets old. And the thing with... And also, you can also... And sure, there's also siege weaponry, which may help out a little bit, but it's really not that substantial. And the mobility loss is just not worth it, in my opinion. I'd rather go for Rancor if I want to use mobility and increase my power. Wow, these vortices are colossal. But I also nearly died, which is the risk of this build. Oh yeah, I can also go for Grandeur, and hopefully I run into not Dying Star, Phantom Strike. Come on, please, give me Phantom Strike already. I'll run into this black hole and just let everything pass. Sadly, I have to be very careful and not get hit. Ooh, took a hit there. Okay. That was also pretty darn sketchy. Thank God. Oh, look at this cloud gust. Okay, I had no idea Glaucus was this vulnerable to burn damage. Also, yeah, remember those days when Glaucus was a freaking dangerous monstrosity that could eliminate entire runs? I mean, yeah, we did complain a lot that Glaucus was probably a bit too strong, but... well, instead the Eclipses are the ones that ended my run. And look at that! A cursed score. Now we'll be doing this again because we kinda got unlucky with Phantom Strike not showing up. Hopefully this time it does show up, and look at that! The devil actually shows up. I needed that in the previous run, mate. Oh yeah, let me get their other stuff. Wake. Okay, I really need Strafing Strikes right now. Let me face up against this dude. Instantly get wrecked. There we go. Strafing Strikes is finally within my reach. Now I can see only a 33% increase in fire rate does that much of a difference over regular firing. So you know, just a small increase like 150% should be enough. Changing it from 100 to 150. Like that alone should be enough. Of course, I'm gonna do more ridiculous stuff like this. Now, I'm gonna go for Transmortification and take some Defiances. Well, sadly I get Challenger. It's so good to frag these guys up. Now this is what I mean by Phantom Strike is freaking awesome. But look at this. It's a lot more reliable way of getting big vortexes without taking too much damage from Rancor. I mean, that's still an option, but... time to see the end of Warbringer. How to utterly annihilate Warbringer. This thing. This thing can absolutely annihilate Warbringer. Okay, that was pretty sketchy, but on the plus side, I have two gigantic vortexes covering me. With smaller enemies, I can use regular firing to take them out. With larger enemies, I can just phantom strike into them and just deal a whole lot of punishment. Absolute demolishment. That was very risky. If the Bulwark fired, I would be totally dead. Wow! Look at the size of that vortex. Now that they're hunting these guys down, I should be pretty safe. Except if these Bulwarks decide to ever retaliate. Wow. Instantly tore apart that mine, that hive spam. This is quite a high risk, high reward build here. Yeah, even Seraph can't stand up to this madness. Right now, just these vortexes alone can take care of these saucers. Careful with these guys. Not let you live for even 1 second, Zion. Because if you live, you might actually destroy me. We just get in here. Now, Seraph here is proving to be a tough cookie. And I could have actually died there, but thank God those vortexes actually got him. Or her. We really don't know the genders of these guys. For all we know, they are probably also biomechanical organisms, just like the player's ship. There we go. Back with the big old vortexes. Now I might try stocking up and try to get quantum decoherence, aka just a few levels, but sadly it did not show up, so Defiance it is. simply cannot believe that the Myrmidons are probably coming closer to killing me than these guys are. Finally. Okay, that was very sketchy. Always appreciate a good old Colossal Vortex. And I cannot imagine what this build would actually be like in the older versions, when Strafing Strikes was at its prime. Because even post-nerf, this is ridiculous. hell, this is a lot of damage. But this fight is far from over. Actually, I didn't really take damage. I'm still going strong. Okay, that actually killed me. It's always gotta be hammerheads. Whew. I was pretty darn close to getting onto the leaderboard as well with the new method. Sadly, there probably is a reason why Strafing Strikes got a nerf. And it's because, with Vortex, you can barely see your own ship. And if you get hammerheads, tracers, yeah, those guys, then there is a big old risk that you can actually die. Even with gigantic vortexes covering you. Sometimes you cannot just fight your way out of a dangerous situation. You gotta be careful. And sadly, this build is pretty darn careless. But it is a lot of fun as well. And with that, may the forks be with you all.